Hello and welcome to Walt Disney World Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground. Now, if you've ever been to Fort Wilderness, you'll notice that right behind me is not Fort Wilderness Resort. Unfortunately, we were evacuated due to the recent hurricane, so I'm now recording this over in Texas at our next campsite. As the name indicates, Fort Wilderness is located on Walt Disney World property, right near the Magic Kingdom theme park. Getting to it is as easy as getting to the theme parks. It's a short drive off of I-4, you drive like you're going to Magic Kingdom, and then you just divert for about a mile or so. Disney's going to make it as easy as possible for you to get there. There's no major obstructions to worry about. You can bring just about as big a camper as you want to. The big draw of this campground is, of course, the fact that it's literally right next to all of the theme parks. If you want to camp and go to the theme parks, this is the best it's going to get. Since it is a Disney resort, it's going to have the Disney bus transportation system. The resort has its own internal bus system, but it also has transportation to all the other resorts and, of course, the theme parks at the front of the resort. In the back of the park, you can catch the boat that goes directly to Magic Kingdom. Proximity to other sort of non-Disney things, like grocery stores, for instance, is going to be a little bit difficult without just getting in your own vehicle and going to find it. Of course, the resort does have shops, and they're very nice, and they have a lot of great stuff, including, of course, Disney merchandise, but all of it is going to be astronomically priced. The lots here were utterly fantastic. The lots were a combination of concrete and gravel, and they were exceptionally manicured. While we were checking in and parking the camper, I could see people at the empty lots like spraying them off with hoses and getting them all clean for the next guest. They all had full hookup, water, sewer, and electric, and they even had cable TV there as well. You couldn't have open fires, which really not that big of a deal. You just need to have an approved container if you're going to have any type of flame. They also had a built-in grill and a picnic table on the lot. We had more than enough space to park our 17-foot trailer, the truck that towed it, and an additional car. If we wanted to, we probably could have moved the additional car over and gotten a third car on the lot. The common areas were just as immaculate. The entire area seemed incredibly manicured and kept up very, very well. Exactly what you would expect out of a Disney property. It's of course a secure park, so every time you go through the gate, you need to check in. But it's a quick process that's integrated into your Magic Band. You just kind of scan, they know you're supposed to be there, and they let you in. Staff is, again, as you would suspect, incredible to work with. They're always very, very polite and always willing to help you. To call this place family-friendly would be an understatement. It is completely and utterly family-oriented, right? It's Disney. They have multiple pools for the kids to play in. They have a little miniature water park, water slide, and even bicycle and canoe rentals if you wanted to get around the resort in a different way. Of course, you'll find themed activities for the kids. One of note would be a little campfire sing-along that they do each night, weather permitting, of course. You can also rent golf carts. We saw them absolutely everywhere. You can bring your own golf cart, or of course you can rent one for the low price of $80 a day. Throughout most of our stay, it was very quiet, downright peaceful. Even with a lot of people walking around, there's so much foliage everywhere that the sound stays sort of, pretty confined. One thing that did strike me is how many trash receptacles and recycle receptacles there were everywhere. It was really nice. You never really had to search very far to be able to throw things away, which is one thing that I find kind of annoying when camping, right? Having to walk a half mile to a dumpster to throw something out. These were just spread throughout the campground. They were much smaller receptacles, but they weren't, they didn't stink, and they were very abundant. The comfort buildings or restrooms, right, were very clean and well kept. They had nice spacious showers, and each one of the comfort, buildings, if you will, had coin laundry available as well. As far as food, they have a main restaurant there, which we did try. It was quite good. It's sort of a family style buffet though. You don't really have much options, that you just kind of get what you get, which is a lot of meat and some vegetables. They have two separate options. They have one dining with a show and one that's just dining. We opted for the just dining. For snacks and beer and such, you can go to the camp stores. They're gonna have all that kind of stuff, as well as Disney merch and Disney apparel of all different kinds. Again, you probably want to use these as sort of a last resort, as the prices were exceptionally high in the camp stores. But on the bright side, if you're camping, you can just head out to one of the local Publix that are not terribly far away. If you're trying to eat healthy, this one's gonna be a little bit tough for you. The camp stores don't have a ton of healthy options, and the resort restaurant is what it is, right? It's all about indulgence more than healthy eating. There is a little grab and go section of the same restaurant we went to. If I find that menu, I'll put it in a link below and you can see if there's some nice options there for you. As far as signal strength, you're gonna be pretty good across the board. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to run a speed test on each of the networks that I usually do, but I think if you have one of the three major brands, you're gonna be okay. A few quick tips about staying at this resort. First of all, if you want to rent a golf cart, be prepared for the price. It is exceptionally high. The campground's already pretty expensive, and if you want to get around via a golf cart, it's going to be an extra $80 a day. Even at $80, that's more expensive than most campsites you're going to stay at, right? Also, I wouldn't be too dependent on the internal bus system inside the resort. It's certainly convenient when they're there, but after dinner, for instance, we sat, I think it was like 25-30 minutes waiting for a bus that was going to go to our particular section of the resort. It's broken up into different zones, like purple, yellow, and something else. And for instance, we had like 5 purple buses come before the yellow bus that we needed actually showed up. So let's talk ratings. First, we have to talk about this price. And I'm actually gonna give it 2 ratings, and here's why. If you're just looking at campgrounds as a whole, it easily gets a 1 out of 5 stars. It's gonna be probably one of the most expensive campgrounds to stay at in that area for sure, possibly through the country. But if you're looking at it within the context of Disney, it's gonna get probably a 4 out of 5. It's gonna be one of the cheapest ways to stay on Disney property. If you're looking at anything that has 4 solid walls, you're easily into the multiple $100s a night. Next up is ease of access. This is a 4 out of 5. You're gonna deal with some of the theme park traffic, but overall it's incredibly easy to get to. For entertainment, this has to get a 5 out of 5. It's a campground that's literally at the happiest place on earth, right? Spitting distance to some of the most famous theme parks in the world, endless entertainment, just a short bus ride away. Keeping it within the context of Disney, overall I'm gonna give this a 4.5 out of 5. It's an excellent campground if you're willing to pay the price and you wanna go to Disney. Take the aspect of Disney away from it, and it's still a beautiful campground, but it is just far too expensive when there's just so many other options out there. Sorry for the slightly abbreviated campground review, but we had very, very limited time. We had to get out of there and get safe. And on that note, I hope all my friends over in Florida are doing well and keeping safe. And at this point, cleaning up after the storm had blown through. If you like this video, scroll down and click that like button. Subscribe for more content like this, and we'll see you in the next one.